Brooklyn. Within the concrete jungle lies this energetic burrow of trees, churches, people, and homes. They never settle for less, because this is where the most successful roam. Fragrance. Perfumer oils and alcohols, redolent of memories and stories all throughout this hobby. Seductive and effervescent aromas will awaken you through your mind, your essence, and your body. Lover. Passion and hospitality exchange between people in the community. Who would have thought fluid would create a society of scented unity? Lifelong bonds are formed through this pastime. Once formed, they're not broken. Roads are endless once you cross the gates of Fragcom. All you need is the token. My name is Joe Anthony, and I'm here to give you my unaverage thoughts on Redbrook Parfums Underground Edition. Made by a few people, filled with knowledge and ambition. If you would have seen on my Instagram post that I posted a few weeks ago, when I had that whole haul video, I did an unboxing for Redbrook Parfums when it came in. And so now, after a couple of wearing, some time to really break it down and understand what we're getting into here, now is the time that I could go ahead and do a review for you all and give you my unaverage thoughts on the fragrance. Of course, it's a niche brand, indie niche brand, no box throw. So I bought out my Sour Patch Kids, and so this one, here we go. Redbrook Parfums was released in 2021. Jean-Claude Deville was the creator of the scent. McQueen Studios' Society of Scent were the ones responsible for the packaging, which I'll get into a little bit later. And the creative directors are two people that more than likely you know, considering their impact on the community. It was Stephen Redolescence and the late Carlos Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Initial spray, you are going to get this really bright, very, very bright, almost zesty, a little bit even tangerine note. It's very, very potent, very prominent in the beginning part of the fragrance. As the fragrance begins to die down, everything else kind of sets in. You get a lot more of the pink pepper also, which immediately follows the tangerine and gives it like this spicy vibe to it. Chocolate, seaweed, a little bit of vanilla, and like this myrrh incense vibe to it in the background. Not so much smoky, just that it's kind of airy, if you will. The fragrance is relatively linear from the time that you do spray the fragrance all the way throughout the duration of the fragrance. And this fragrance will also almost have this rose-like accord. I'm not sure if that's coming from the pink pepper with the myrrh, chocolate combination, maybe even a little bit of the seaweed there, providing that stem of the rose even. But rose isn't an actual note listed. However, it does feel like that there's some sort of rose nuance in there. Not so much the actual flower of the rose as much as just the sillage or the aroma, if you will. This is a fragrance that on me lasted a relatively long time. This fragrance gave me a good 6 to 7 hours performance, where it projected at a solid 4-foot bubble, and then after that it got gradually closer, very, very fast. But on my skin, it lasted almost 14 hours. So if I got this close to, you know, where I was smelling it, I'd be able to know that the scent still lingered. But it was no longer projecting or even had that big of a sillage. It became a much more close encountered scent. It's a fragrance that I do see working well in the spring, cooler springs, but spring, in the fall, and in the winter. You know, if you're wearing this out and about and you're more indoors than outdoors, this will work well. It could work well outdoors as well, but optimally this will make you stand out for sure indoors, anywhere you go. I would recommend, if you are at least 25 and up, you know, you could pull this one off. Man or woman, it does lean a little bit more masculine. However, it does also like fit this weird like unisex mold because of that whole rose-like accord that I get with it. This is for somebody who wants to be bold and stand out at the end of the day, but not in a like Paco Rabanne 1 million type of way, but almost have like that mysterious, seductive vibe, you know. Like if you're a woman, you're wearing a black dress with this. You know, if you're a man, you're in your tux, you're taking the night, maybe a nice collared shirt even, going out with the guys to a bar or a lounge, office parties, dates. It could work on a date, however, not the first date in my opinion. I think this would work better after you've gotten to know that person after a few dates. Even though I said 25 and up, if you are a, you know, hardcore fragrance enthusiast, like most of us are who are watching this channel, you could pull this one off because you're gonna wear what you want, just like all of us should wear what we want. Some fragrances that kind of come to mind, at least when I smelled this, off the beginning was definitely Black Orchid from Tom Ford. Though this was a lot softer than that. Black Orchid has a lot more going on with the, you know, whole vibe of it, but in general, just that mode of, you know, sexy, seductive, energetic, all that, you know, that combination basically is kind of what I'm getting from this. Also something like a little bit of effing fabulous from Tom Ford as well, but I get a little bit too of the like Lacoste 1212 because of that whole chocolate with fruity. The only difference was that had like vetiver, watermelon, and chocolate, whereas this had the chocolate, vanilla, tangerine, seaweed. So those are just kind of some fragrances in the realm, so this way you could get an understanding of the type of vibe that this was going for. Let's get into this presentation, shall we? So it comes in this pretty sturdy cardboard box that does say Redbrook Parfums Underground Edition, 100 ml. Eau de Parfum was the concentration, and again 3.4. On the back it just says that it's very flammable. There's nothing else. When you open, there's nothing there. There's usually the card that does rest right in there. In this card, I did get confirmation from Steven. If you can see, it is of a like city map, and this map is to represent Manhattan. Manhattan being the midpoint between Brooklyn, where Carlos was, and Steven, Redolescence, and even Society of Scent, which was in the Bronx. So it's kind of just like the triangle midway point, if you will. On the back, it just has the entire story. I'll kind of leave that there if you want to read it and pause this really quick. But then there's Steven's signature right there, and then my bottle out of the 1000 that were made. And then your fragrance comes rested in here like so. And the bottle itself is almost this ceramic glass type with a plastic top. And then the sprayer automatically sprayed. You know, sometimes you gotta do this a couple of times. I didn't have to do that with this one. It sprayed immediately, and wow, that already was, that fills the room really quick, at least right here in this bubble. But there you go, the presentation, Redbrook Parfums. I'm unsure if this fragrance will actually be re-released again. I'll leave the link down below just in case at some point. Currently it is out of stock. And also, just in case you come across it somehow, some way, the question is this worth this? Is it worth it? I'd say it is. I'd say it is because it is a really good fragrance. It is unique, especially to what the market offers. It is a fragrance that, although may remind some people of other fragrances, it does do what those other fragrances did, but better as far as vibe. You know, this is not a clone of anything. Nothing smells like this carbon copy wise. It just has similar vibes and tones to it. You know, just like movies, not all movies are made the same. Like, not all horror movies are going to be the exact same horror movie. You know what I mean? I like it. And remembering Carlos, you know, for who he was. You know, he was very hands-on with this project. He really wanted to see this project through. And I'd say him, Steven, Society of Scent, all parties involved did a great job on executing this fragrance. And I'm glad I was able to get this into my collection, just because at the end of the day too, this is a piece of Fragcom history, you know, and it's going to remain a part of Fragcom history. I will definitely enjoy wearing this fragrance a lot more and smelling unAVERAGE. So there you have it. Those are my unAVERAGE thoughts on Redbrook Parfums Underground Edition. Like I said, bravo, great job to all the parties involved. And now I have to ask you all who are watching, what are your thoughts on Redbrook Parfums Underground Edition? Is this a fragrance that you do want to try? Is this a fragrance that you own? How do you feel about it? How's it perform on you? Because, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's skin chemistry will be a little different. Everybody has their own uniqueness to it. And I think that's a little bit of what the beauty of what they were going for here too. You know, like me, when I smell this fragrance, I'm getting, you're in New York City, right above the subway in Manhattan, and you come across a rose that has just blossomed out of the concrete. And it's an energetic day, the sun is out, people are about, and you just stop. And you're there to appreciate the little things, the moments. Something even so unique like a rose coming out of concrete. So, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, my name's Joe. I'll see you all later.